Today I'm going to reveal a set of watches you just will not regret buying. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Yes, today not only am I going to tell you 5 watches you should buy that you won't regret, but I'm going to give you certain types of watches that if you use that as a benchmark, you still won't regret in 2026. And let me just say, it has never, ever been harder to spend your hard-earned money on a watch. The market has literally exploded. But what types of watches am I talking about? And what particular watches should you buy? Come on, let's have a bit of fun. Are you no regrets ready? Let's go. Right, this is in no particular order. Just know that the last one is the best one. But the first type of watch I think you should be looking at in 2026, it's a G-Shock. Honestly, since I started the channel way back in 2020, there has never been a better time to buy a G-Shock than now. For all those that have ever thought G-Shocks are way too big and just wouldn't fit their wrist, I totally understand. But with a big thanks to the way some of these G-Shocks are made now, using carbon fiber and G-Shock's carbon core guard, it means they can make watches a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller while still having the protection that a G-Shock should have. So really, you can't use that in an argument anymore. But in 2026, not only can you get awesome modern G-Shocks with memory in pixel display, which, trust me, if you do buy one, you definitely won't regret it. But on the flip side, you can still buy G-Shocks that were made 10, 15, 20, maybe 25 years ago that are still banging today. And I'm not just talking about the DW5600. I'm talking about watches like the DW6900, the DW9052, and the DW5900. And if you can get ones on the G-Lide line, ones that look a little bit different to the norm, you know, that offer moon phases and tide graphs. Yeah, you may not need it, you may not be a fisherman, you may not even be a blooming surfer, but there is definitely more to a G-Shock if you just dig a little deeper. My favourite one right now, well, it's G-Shock's latest release of a DW6900 gone camo. This thing looks modern, and they've done it in a case that was designed over 30 years ago. This particular reference, I don't think would look out of place next year or the year after or 10 years in the future. And I'd love to know in the comments below, is there a G-Shock you own that you have no regrets buying? The next no regret, it's a no-brainer for me, and I tell this to everyone all the time. And it doesn't matter if you're in 2020,
2021, 22, 23, 24,
or 2026. You will not regret buying a military style watch. If it's been heavily influenced by a certain military field watch in the past, or it's a reissue from the actual brand, these watches do not go out of style. But that's because they never were in style in the first place. Here's style, and here's military watches. They're reliable, versatile. They will literally go with anything you wear. And if you get the right one, you could have it for the rest of your life. Now, whether you're looking at the Seiko 5 Green Zone Midfield, the SRP J85K1, or you're looking at the watch that's on my wrist, the Hamilton Field Khaki 250. Not only are you going to get a banging watch, you're going to be proud to wear it. You're going to be proud to wear it next year and the year after that. Those are the watches that get the most wrist time. But military watches on the whole, absolutely awesome. And we move nice and swiftly on to Seiko 5s. Forget the scaremongering from other watch reviewers, all the crappy stuff that gets said on forums. Seiko still make great affordable watches that not only can start someone's watch journey, it can end it as well. Now, decades and decades ago, the Seiko 5 was invented for the everyman. Someone that just needed a very, very reliable watch that would never break down on her. And whether it was the clear legible dial, the automatic movement, or the recessed crown at 4 o'clock,
to not hurt those little wrists.
The Seiko 5 was the standard for how to make an everyman's watch good. And whether you're looking in, say, creation watches at old Seiko 5s with the cool Seiko 5 logo, or you're looking at the newer ones with the slightly less cool Superman 5 logo. One thing is for certain, you're not going to regret buying one of these, and you're going to flipping love it. You can buy relatively new Seiko 5 watches for under £200, and in the description below I've given you a few of my favourites. But for me, one of my favourite watches I own, and I shout about it all the time, is the SSK 023. You can find this watch under £400. As you can see, yes, it has that military look to it with the 24-hour inner markers. It has a US military vibe. This has an office GMT in-house Seiko movement, which allows you to independently move the GMT hand without moving any other hands. Anyone that has bought that watch or is looking to buy the watch, congratulations. Absolutely no regrets. Banger.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Next up, a bold statement, but a true one. There has never been a better time to buy micro brand watches than right now. When I started this channel 2020, the only watches you could find that were micro brands had one movement in it, like the NH35. They were a certain thickness. Now though, the micro brand world has exploded, offering so many styles, so many complications, giving you so many great reasons to buy into these watches. The beauty with micro brands is you can speak to the actual owner of these watches. Find out how they tick and why they made the watch. You can't do that with a Solus Addis dive. Whether it's an Ember Rocket or a Prevail Tactical. Companies out there that are really trying to do something different, pushing the boundaries, investing heavily. But not only do you get to speak to the owner of these brands, you know that when you get one of these watches in your hands, it's probably been quality controlled by the owner. And sometimes, like with Pinion and Piers, the owner, your watch is assembled, tested, regulated by him before it comes to us. Now, what puts a lot of people on the fence is resale value. If you're thinking like that, people, don't even bother. If you've bought into the company, you love the look of the watch, you love what is trying to be said by these companies, thinking about the value you could get just in case you don't like it anymore is going about this hobby all wrong. So check out these amazing brands. You don't just have to go down the Seiko, Tissot, Hamilton, Citizen route all the time. Spread your wings and get an awesome micro brander.
Take two.
Let's see a little more originality, shall we? Now, the last one for me is very controversial, but I don't care. I like what I like. And when I say the brand Rolex, half of you are switching off right now, and half of you are going, I don't like the company as a brand, what it stands for, what it is in 2026. But in my personal opinion, 5-digit Rolex sports models are some of the greatest watches of all time. I'm not talking about halterology. We're not talking about tourbillons, breguet, so cool your jets. We're not talking about perpetual calendars, all right? Just calm down, Patek. I'm talking about my bread and butter watch loves, which is premium tool watches. And in the 90s, 5-digit Rolexes were the absolute Mac daddies. And thanks to the amazing people at BQ Watches who have helped me curate 3 phenomenal watches, my opinion on 5-digit Rolex has never been stronger. And in 2026, I still think they're a little bit of a sleeper. Now, obviously, these are not cheap watches, okay? But what they do is they bridge the gap from, let's say, old to new. For example, the Rolex Explorer 1016, which I think is the longest running reference of any Rolex, it had to have an update. And when you look at the 14270 that I own, they nailed it. And whether it's the 14060 Submariner with the now sapphire glass, the 4 Hz movement, the ratcheting 120 click diver's bezel, or the absolutely incredible and could potentially be my favorite Rolex of all time now, the 16570, the Explorer 2 with the black dial. These just wear different. They feel different. They have an aura around them, something that I do mention quite often, as there are a hell of a lot of watches out there that I just, I get nothing from. And that necessarily doesn't come with time. It could come with a story and reasons behind a certain design. These watches though, they are special. And it's slightly annoying because I want to be annoyed with Rolex. But when you handle these watches right, you honestly do believe, let's compare them to Tudor. You honestly do believe that we've gone backwards for the last 30 years. 5-digit Rollies, they are pretty good. It's annoying. So, I haven't given you 5 there, I've given you a few watches that you won't regret buying, let me tell you that. The one key factor that you always have to take in when you're thinking about buying a watch is this. Can I see myself wearing this in a year's time? Would it look good with everything that I wear? And does it reflect me as a person? Remember, you wear the watch doesn't wear you. It's always fun now and then to go and buy a little bit of hype, but just know in a couple of years down the line, you'll look back on that hype and think, yeah, that was a waste of money. But these days we throw money like it's out of fashion. I'm just trying to help you not make mistakes that I've made in the past. What do I know? Buy what you like. You lot are absolutely legendary, keeping the average view duration high. And if you've got a type of watch or a specific watch altogether that you think you could buy and not have any regrets with, get it in the comments below. Obviously, I didn't mention, budget Casios. However, I don't want to be the one to have to explain to your wife why all of a sudden you've got 50 Casios. Because one's pretty cheap, 50 ain't. Anyway, if you want to support the Mad Watch Collector any further, we got a Patreon. See the shows early, blooper reels, behind the scene footage, private group chat, and get your name credited at the end of every show like this amazing lot. Whoa. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, and I think I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah? No? Yeah? Go on. Click this one. You'll love it. Oh, military watches. Never out of style. Never in style. Just like me. Click this one. Everyone's favourite content creator. Yeah? Just no one likes to admit it. Yeah? Teddy Balthazar, isn't it? Teddy Balthazar. Click it. Click it. Click it.